What's good, everyone? Looks like the new banners have dropped on the Pretty Derby slash Uma Musume. So I definitely do want to kind of, on a highlight level, cover the new unit as well as the two new support cards that are featured. So we'll start with the new unit, which is the Hishi Amazon. It's a 3-star unit, of course, because it is a banner unit, but let's just, on a high level, talk about the unit itself. Now, in terms of the overall rating for this unit and some of the skill sets, the recommended distance type for races is certainly mile and the mid races. Now, in terms of like the racing strategy itself, Oikomi is more or less the late spark, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Now, in terms of further detail, I mean, you can kind of see what the overall stats are here, as well as kind of the training percentages or growth percentages or what have you. But I think more or less the important thing is to talk about some of the skills that this unit has the ability on. So the dead heat here is more or less like the last straightaway in terms of like the abilities. It's more or less just kind of coming from the outside and accelerating speed and taking over positions or whatnot. And in terms of like the normal skill sets, this is basically the base skills that you'll have right away. It looks like basically it's kind of a mix of positioning as well as this one is more, this is also positioning. So this is positioning related to the racing strategy of the late spark. This one's also, again, a positioning format of, like the last part of the race itself. This one is related to the last cornering and basically for mid-distance type racing. And it's related to just if you're taken over by other girls in the race, you'll be able to kind of overtake them again a lot easier, or whatever the case is. Now the following is going to be more or less like the skills that you can acquire based on awakening. So this is level 2. This is more or less again based on the late spark. You'll be able to accelerate speed at the last straightaway. This is at awakening level 3. This is related to the last corner and basically the mid distance. So it's kind of similar to the other one that was mentioned as well. This one is basically you're going to be able to increase speed based on cornering abilities, and this one is more or less just kind of a positioning based on the race strategy itself. Now, in terms of the training recommendations, it looks like again the late spark or the Oikomi strategy is probably the recommended one. Based on all the skill sets that the unit has, it's certainly recommended you go through that strategy as well. Now, there's a key point here where for the growth abilities, stamina is certainly lacking. So basically, it's basically stating that the long distance racing type is going to be a little bit difficult because of the lack of stamina growth. So, with that being said, based on the website here, the mile race format is the recommended strategy for that. Now, this is another pointer here where you have to be a little bit careful in terms of like how to utilize this unit in terms of like each of the skills. So the skill set is based on, I guess you can call it like a special attack in this regard, but the criteria to activate this is based on the last straightaway, and you have to kind of be in a position where you're gonna overtake the other units based on the positioning from the outside and stuff like that. So it's basically summarizing that a lot of it has to do with timing based and like positioning overall and whatnot. So it is kind of a warning that activating that particular skill could be a little bit difficult. Now, there is also a hidden event once you're able to complete basically the triple tiara, I guess is the translation for this. So there's 3 races that if you're able to win this, you'll be able to activate some things. So the races are the Sakura Basho, Oaks, and the Akibasho, I believe. If you're able to win those 3 races, then it'll activate a hidden event. And what that does is basically give you status upgrades as well as hit levels toward the Kuisagare skill. and also you might get some race bonuses as well in terms of like the overall impact to race bonuses. So again, is basically from a training URL training standpoint, some of these only require you to be at least third or a minimum of fifth place. But in order to activate this, you do want to finish first place with that to unlock the hidden event. All right, let's just move on and talk about some of the new SSR support units as well as the SR support card on a very brief high-level basis. So this one is the Bamboo Memory, I guess, is the card art or card name for this. Now, in terms of the type, it looks like it's a power type, and then decent ratings overall. I mean, 8.5 out of 10 with all dupes, and then no dupes, it's a 7 point out of 10 point overall. And in terms of like the overall skills, I mean, it looks like this is also, this is like the last part, spurt, I guess. Your speed will increase. This is related to the last corner. Stuff like that. You've got other things. This is also related to the last corner. Basically, if you're able to overtake some units, your speed will increase incrementally, and this is based on like I wouldn't say retaliation, but it makes positioning difficult for certain type of race strategy units as well. You've got a couple other things like I guess this is actually not really okay. So this is based on like early lead horses. If they have a massive lead, they're gonna get tired easier, I guess, than not, and stuff like that. Now these are skills that you are able to basically unlock through the URA, and it's a lot to do with straightaway speed increases. This looks like the last spurt in short races. This is basically the straightaways in the mile races. This is basically the increase of speed during the straightaways as well. This is related to acceleration regarding mile races, and this one is basically just kind of thorough marking on certain units. So that's pretty much, I guess, in an overall nutshell, the overall skill sets for this unit. And then you have, obviously, with the support cards, you have support effects, and this is based on the dupe level. So no dupes at level 30, 1, 2, 3, and fully unlocked at 4 dupes. So these are all basically percentages based on like the friend bonus increases, training effect bonuses. This is basically the initial like gauge, I guess, and then the overall power here, race bonus, fan number bonus, skill point bonuses, hint levels, and hint level activation percentages and stuff like that. So that's pretty much, and you have like the correct answering of the events during the training or whatnot, and I should more or less kind of cover that in videos going forward, but I really want to keep this on a high level, so let me just kind of go through this really quickly. Now this one is a SR support. In terms of like the name, I guess it's Shinko Windy. I don't know how to translate that to English format, but anyways, we'll just kind of move on and talk about the unit. This unit, from what I hear, is pretty good. I think from key highlights, it's a mile or leading horse type skill. Compatibility, race bonus has a 10%, I believe, from what I heard. This is kind of like the first SR unit to have a race bonus percentage increase, and then it looks like once you're able to fully dupe this out, you're gonna get like very good stat upgrade bonuses and if overall effect bonuses. So that's kind of the high level information here. Now in terms of like the training events and whatnot, gear shift is certainly a good one. I tend to activate this when I'm able to in terms of like the URA finals. It's basically related to if you're toward the front of the pack during the mid race, you're kind of in a better position to overtake some of the units, and this is another one. Makinki is pretty much a mile format as well. It makes it a little bit more effective in terms of like overtaking units. It's probably the best way to put it. And like you have some other skills like the normals and whatnot. These are related to like the last cornering abilities and toward the end of the race. I think this is based on like certain conditions like statuses, like if you're not, that the I guess if the horse isn't necessarily like at a good motivational level and stuff like that. So, I don't want to kind of, I'm really trying to keep it as brief as possible, but, the last thing we'll take a look at is some of the percentage increases you get. So friend bonuses, you'll get, base at 20%, fully unlocked, you'll get 25%. This is a race bonus. You'll start with 5% up to a max of 10%. The total fans number bonus will be starting from 15% with a max of 20%, and then this will be the initial speed bonus. You'll get an increase of 20 versus 25 at all dupes, and then this is kind of like the motivation effect, or I don't know what the other word is besides motivation, but you'll get like a percentage effect on that as well, and then like training effects, 1 to 5%, and speed bonus once you get all dupes and stuff like that. So I think in a nutshell, this pretty much summarizes the new card details. So hopefully this was somewhat helpful for you, and certainly stay tuned for other videos. I'll try to cover this whenever the news gets released. That way you guys are able to get the latest information as quickly as possible. All right, with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.